What is up, everyone, and welcome back to Across the Board, sponsored by MoneyBall Metrics. You have your normal Wednesday team here today. You have myself, Alpha Dog Bets, here with JD from Line Movers, and we have Jammer from Jammer Bets. Fellas, we have a beautiful, massive NBA slate to break down today. I'm super excited to get into it. We have our guy Jammer, the NBA GOAT, on today, so I'm excited to hear what he has to say. Hopefully, he doesn't go against the New York Knicks, but we will see what happens. Fellas, a couple things we get into on the show as we always do, but before we do, JD, how are you today? Happy Wednesday, bro.
Doing good, man. I was just sitting there thinking, and it's really weird because last week we were on here on actually this very show, and like we had a bunch of snow here, and it was like, this is so weird, like it's crazy. And the snow lasted for like 3 or 4 days. That like never happens. And today it's literally 70 and sunny.
Welcome back to a little reality, some normalcy down there for you guys.
It's just so weird, yeah. And then I like look for the next 2 weeks. It's supposed to be between 65 and actually like 75. Like it's just supposed to be like perfect. So like It's just so weird in that like little time frame. Yeah, how it was so crazy.
You're getting a little weather like the Northeast here. So we've had that super cold weather for the last couple of weeks. How, we get that all the time. Today it's like 45, 50 here. So that's just how it goes in the Northeast. So welcome to our world, brother. Jammer, how are you today, bro? Good to have you back on as always.
Yeah, appreciate you guys having me. Excited to talk a little NBA today.
Hell yeah, bro. Before we do, let's go into our Tuesday recap. JD, we'll start with you. How'd you do yesterday?
What did I give out on the show?
So I know we gave out the 76ers and they won outright, so that was great.
Yeah. As far as those actually college basketball overs, that actually Baylor game blew over. The UNC game stayed under somehow. That first half was looking great. I forgot how many points. It was like 87 or actually like 89 points.
Mm-hmm.
It was on pace to fly over, and that second half just died.
Yep.
So yeah, we did not get that one. So yeah.
How about the Johnnies, dude? How about St. John's going into Georgetown and winning 66-41? Shout out Hefe. That was one of his best.
Oh man, it was like, what was it, like 34-7 or something?
Yeah, it was unbelievable. So a great start, great read by Hefe, and it's crazy. It was like 34-7, and they only scored 41 points as a team. They had like 34 in the first 10 minutes. So absolutely brilliant performance by St. John's as a New York, New Jersey, Northeast guy. It's good to see St. John's win, but it would have been nice if it was Rutgers having the type of season that St. John's is having. I'll go over my recap next. I had one best bet yesterday. It was the 76ers. They won by $1 billion, so I was very happy with that. It was our Profit XPOD, so make sure you guys tune in for today's Profit XPOD because, JD, I think we've won like 5 or 6 straight of these. We're on absolute fire with them, so we have more to come with that. Jammer, how did you do yesterday, brother?
So I definitely should have tuned into the show to check out the play of the day there with the Sixers. I went 2-1 on the day. The only loss was on the Lakers, -4.5. Obviously, AD going down hurts a little bit, but glad to see you guys at least won on that game because they did.
My guy Yabusele. Dude, that guy Yabusele is freaking awesome, the Frenchman. I'm so hoping he ends up a New York Knick as our backup center next year because that guy can flat out play some basketball. Tar Heel is here. We appreciate you being here, Tar Heel. I'm sorry that you have to be here. I'm sorry that we had to talk about your Tar Heels. One of us on the show said yesterday, fade the Tar Heels. I don't remember which one that person was, but some smart, handsome Knicks fan, I think, said that. So, unfortunately for UNC, not a great game, but I was kind of happy with the way that one did play out. All right, fellas. Like I said earlier, we have a pretty big NBA slate today, and I'm excited to dive into it. You guys ready to get into the NBA?
Let's do it.
Let's do it, gentlemen. Apologies. Had to cough. All right. First game we're breaking down today is going to be the Denver Nuggets taking on the New York Alpha Dogs. Nuggets are coming in 28-18 on the year. They are 14-10 on the road. Taking on a Knicks team that is getting hot at the right time. They're starting to play like the team we've expected them to, and it's about time they did so. I mean, you add a bunch of new pieces like Karl Anthony Towns. You remove a guy like Julius Randle, who was the longest tenured Knick before that. You lose another guy like Dante DiVincenzo, who set the franchise record in 3-pointers last year. It takes some time for them to get on their groove, but the Knicks seem to finally be hitting their stride, winners of 4 consecutive games. And the last game they did win was over the Grizzlies, where they scored 143 points and only gave up 106. They won that game by 37 points. Game before that, the Knicks also scored 143 points. So their offense is fully clicking right now. The Nuggets are coming in off 2 losses. The last one hurt me personally against the Bulls. They lost by 8. I just needed the money line for a freaking parlay. So the Nuggets are not on my good list right now. Jammer, over to you. What do you like in this game?
Yeah, so like you said, Knicks are coming into this game on a 4-game winning streak, and they have a really good chance of winning here at home as they post a 16-8 home record, while Denver has been struggling on the road this season, especially recently. They lost their first 2 games of this 5-game East Coast road trip, including a rough one on Monday versus the Bulls. Obviously, the Bulls not one of the top teams in the East here, so you'd think that could have been a nice, easy game for them to take. But
yeah, I did think that. You're right.
Ooh, were you on the Nuggets that game?
Parlay. Didn't even need the spread. Last leg of a parlay. So was not happy that the -8 Nuggets were not able to outright win over the lowly Chicago Bulls.
Yeah, that's how NBA has been here at the middle to end of January. It always gets tough. Always gets tough around these times. But we are keeping up with the league, and we are trying to keep you guys informed here. So both these teams, man, they've played well in their last 10 games, each posting 7-3 records, and they're both averaging 120-plus points per game. That's always a good sign whenever the offense is moving out there. But this could be a huge launching pad for the Nuggets. As I said, they have a 5-game East Coast road trip. They've already done 2 of their first 2 games on the road here. They've already lost. They have some very, very, very winnable games here in the near future. So this game versus the Knicks could be a good momentum boost for them as they're on this 2-game losing streak right now. I don't think you want to extend the road streak and extend this losing streak. So tonight, I think that they're going to have their coach and their team all locked in, trying to win this game. They're not just going to roll over and take another one like they did on Monday versus the Bulls. So in terms of a spread for the game, I was looking at Nuggets +3. I'm seeing +2.5 on some books, but I'm still comfortable with that number. I'm going to take the points here. I'm not going to do it on the money line just because you know how close some of these games can be, especially for a road team going to the East Coast. It's never easy doing that. So I will be back in the Nuggets here at the +3. I think this is a big momentum boost for them as they keep this road trip going. And then in terms of props on the game, I'm going to be looking at a player who's very familiar with this Denver Nuggets team. He shared a division with them for the last 9 years, and that's Karl Anthony Towns. He's played well against his team in the past, and he's played well against them as of recent this year and last year. I'm going to be looking at his points and rebounds total. I believe we're looking at 36.5 points plus rebounds. You just confirm. It was 36.5 last night. We're looking at 37.5 this morning.
Yeah, I have some reasoning on why I think that's happening. So when I break this one down, I will go over potential injury news in this game.
Okay, so that might explain why I had a little jump there. But I'm going to be looking at his points and rebounds. He's just been absolutely dominating lately, both on the points and on the boards. He's had a couple games where he's had around 15, 16 rebounds. Usually you're not seeing that from Cat. You're used to right around that 10 number. But if he can have one of those dominant games, man, he can keep this team in it and keep it close. But I'm liking those boys out there in Denver to take it out. But I do think the Cat has a big game against one of his former divisional opponents. So let's see him have a good game, but Jokic even have a bigger game and take that game there for Denver. Yeah, let's hear about this injury news, Alpha.
Well, I'm assuming there's some injury news that's going to come out on the Knicks front. So Josh Hart's a game-time decision here, and the line has dropped pretty significantly since this morning. This morning, just going into this game, the Knicks were a -155 money line. The line is now at a -135. So they have dropped 20 cents. We are seeing player props for other Knicks. Their totals going a little bit higher in the rebound department. Who's the guy who gets all the rebounds for the Knicks outside the big man? It is Josh Hart. So the stars could be aligning that he will miss the game, but I'm not sure he will. It does look like that may be what the people are worried about, and that's what's moving the line. But this guy's questionable, it seems like, every single game. Every single night he ends up playing. The line can shift all day long. So if you like the Knicks like I do, I would take them on the money line now at a -135. That's exactly what I'm playing. The Knicks at home. Jammer put it perfectly. 16-8. They're one of the better home teams in the league. Nuggets 14-10 on the road. They're not bad, but they're on a little bit of a tough stretch right now. They are going to be missing a little depth tonight. Vlatko Konkar, and Spencer Jones are both not going to be playing for the Nuggets. Like I said, Josh Hart is a game-time decision. He's really the only guy in the Knicks we're not sure about. There's nobody else on the injury report. And with the Knicks being as hot as they are, like I said, winners of 4 consecutively. They've been playing great ball, and I do expect the Knicks to have a big performance here. They should be able to carry over the momentum from the other day. So let's see the Knicks get a big money line win here. Jammer, I know you took the Nuggets on the spread. I'm happy to have the Knicks win by 2 points so that you cash your spread and I cash my money line. So let's see a tight game where we both get the win tonight. JD, what do you like in this game?
Man, this game here. I mean, like, if y'all have been watching this show, you should know what I'm going to go with here. Both of these teams are actually definitely over teams. I've actually been talking Knicks for like past week or so now about how their defense is just not there. Currently, and if you look at any trend that you want to in actually this game, it's gonna point to the over. As far as their last 10 stats, they both are as far as their away and then home, all points over as far as their favorite and their the favorite and actually then the underdog.
Yep.
Literally everything points to the over here. I personally have this at actually 245. I bet this and gave it out to clients at actually 239. Looks like it's moved up to 243 now.
Yep.
That was going to be a show actually best bet. Not going to be able to give that out now.
What does that tell you? Because you know what that tells me? The books really think Josh Hart's not playing tonight. If they're going to raise the total, he's the guy who's all the defense on the Knicks side. Him and Anunoby are the only 2 defenders the team has. Also, Cat's props have gone up in the rebounding. It just screams Hart's not going to go if the total's now even gone up 3 points. That's what it's indicating to me. But yet again, do we really believe that with this happening like every game for him? It's one of those. Do you think you should wait on this one, JD? Because there seems to be some information we're missing. Do you think maybe there's waiting for the injury reports probably the best move here? Do you think it's good to lock in the over early?
No, I would actually not lock it in now. Like I said, the number has moved so much.
Yeah.
If anything, I doubt it's going to go back all the way down. What I would do is actually wait till live and just try to get in there. You should have a spot at some point.
So. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. All right, boys, any other props before we move into the next game? And we all know I love to do this. I have some major lineup/injury news in the next game we're going to be breaking down. So you guys ready to dive into it?
Let's do it.
Let's do it, gentlemen. Next game we have is going to be the Cleveland Cavs going into Miami and taking on the dumpster fire that is the current Miami Heat. Injury news on this one. The big news we just got, let me pull it up and make sure I have it correct, and I do. Darius Garland has been ruled out for this game. He is going to be getting a rest night. There's no injury with him. The line has shifted to a 6.5, 7 because of that, so there will be no Garland in this one. Other guys out for the Cavs. Dean Wade, we're not going to see for 3 to 4 weeks. Isaac Okoro, we're not going to see for at least another couple games. And Karis LeVert. So these Cavs are going to be pretty weak in the guard department. Tonight, we're going to have to see a big performance from Donovan Mitchell. On the other side with the Heat, Jimmy Butler, not a real human to this team anymore. Don't ever think we will ever see him suit up for Miami again. So he is out. Jaime Jaquez, it says he's questionable. I think I just saw something. Yes, he is going to play. He is questionable, but they did say that he just went through shoot-around. He will be playing tonight. Josh Richardson is out until at least February 4th. Isaiah Stevens and Drew Smith are out as well. All that being said, with the lineup news that we just received, do you still like the Cavs in the spot, Jammer? I mean, I don't know if you ever liked the Cavs, but with Garland being out, it does change a little bit. What do you think about the Cavs and the Heat tonight?
Yeah, I was looking at this game last night. I was seeing the line at this 7.5 number. I'm seeing it at 7 now on FanDuel. I was like, this just doesn't make any sense. Like, somebody's got to be out. I think that they had some props for just about everyone last night, but now we're seeing that no Darius Garland. I think that kind of explains why the line's where it's at right now.
Yeah.
But, this Miami Heat team, man, they are in disarray right now with the whole Jimmy Butler situation. So it's going to be curious to see how this tanking of his own value kind of goes, whenever they're trying to trade him away. Because it kind of seemed like Pat Riley had this idea that he could kind of make Jimmy want to stay down there in Miami, but it just doesn't seem to be like that's how it's working.
Oh, he
out
ain't
for those
staying.
guys.
No,
yeah.
he ain't.
I mean,
staying.
not at this point, but after the first suspension, you think, okay, maybe he'll kind of turn his attitude around. But now we're on the third suspension of this guy now. Like he just really wants out of there. I'm curious to see where they end up moving him because he's a very interesting physical subject here in the NBA.
What is the Jammer prediction? Where do you see him going? Because that was a big topic on yesterday's show. I know you said you weren't able to tune in. We had a very long discussion on where we think the best fit would be for Jimmy Butler. So I'm curious to see what you would think.
I mean, in terms of best fit, I mean, it seems like he wants to go to Phoenix, but I know that they have they got that Bradley Beal no trade contract situation. So I mean, they would have to get through that. For me, honestly,
how stupid can you be, by the way, to give Bradley Beal a no trade clause on that huge deal? How dumb of an organization do you have to be to make that kind of decision? I apologize.
I mean, at the time, they were just putting all their chips into that Devin Booker, Kevin Durant pile. So now that Bradley Beal's coming off the bench and he's averaging like 10 points per game, it's kind of like, oh man.
And it's a complete liability defensively. This guy's a nightmare. It was a nightmare trade for them.
But for me, I would love to see Jimmy Butler go back to Minnesota. I don't know how warming welcome that would be for him, but seeing him in there with Julius and Ant-Man, I think would be kind of cool to see. I know the Warriors are another team that they've been talking about for him to potentially go to, but I just don't know how those personalities mix with him and Steph Curry. I just don't.
We talked about that yesterday. I think the verdict from the show was, does anybody think that Jimmy's going to go into Golden State and do what he's doing? Hefe put it perfectly. I think he said that Jimmy's going to be on his best behavior anywhere he goes because he's on a contract here. He's 36 years old. He wants to get another big-time contract, and the only way you can do that is by going to a new team and being the angel of the team. Making no drama, making no noise, and playing as much basketball and the best basketball possible. So it could work if he goes there. What my thought process was yesterday is I do think he's going to go back to the Chicago Bulls, weirdly, just because the trade market for them makes sense. Looks like they can probably get a guy like Zach LaVine over to Miami. Miami probably, not thrilled to get a guy like Zach LaVine, but it's probably the best they're going to be able to get for a guy like Jimmy Butler, and I could see that happening, so that was my prediction there. But back to this game, we do have some questions on it before we go over to JD. Are the Cavs a potential good parlay piece? I personally think so. I'm going to be taking them on the spread. I'm going to let that out now. I'm fading Miami for the foreseeable future. I know they won against the Magic last game, but outside that Magic game, this team has been a nightmare. There's a lot going on in Miami. The players are thinking, am I going to be tied into the Jimmy Butler trade? Am I going to be a piece that has to go as well? Who's going to come in for Jimmy? Is Jimmy going to stay? There's a lot of noise around that Miami Heat team and in the locker room right now. And when your clear leader is Jimmy Butler and he's trying to get the hell out of there, it's got to be a difficult situation. So I am going to be fading the Heat for the foreseeable future, and I'm going to be taking the Cavs -7 in this spot. Jammer, did you give your official pick on this one?
I didn't have an official pick, just more so wanted to discuss that Jimmy Butler. And then also, do you guys know who the leading candidate for Rookie of the Year is this year? He's in the game.
He's in this game?
He's in this game.
I'm going to cheat. I'm going to be honest. And yeah, I know who it is now, so I'm not going to blow it. But don't get me started. I was screaming for the Knicks to trade up for this guy, but we needed a big man. So where's a really good player? He was really good in college, too. I believe Louisville, one of those schools like that. He was very good. So, yeah, he's been great. I agree.
Yeah,
are you
I
aware
couldn't believe
of that?
whenever I was doing my little updates on player awards. I'm like, Khalil Ware, huh?
You know who's
That's
been
who's
really
leading
good?
the Rookie of the Year right now.
You know who's been really good? That Jalen Wells guy. Didn't even know who he was coming out of college. That guy can ball. Watched him play personally against the Knicks the other day. He was fantastic. So shout out Jalen Wells. He's been great. And shout out Kyle. I'm going to pronounce that terrible. Ware from the Heat. He's been unbelievable. Guy I really did want my Knicks to get. JD, over to you, brother. What do you like in this one?
Man, I don't like anything. This Heat team, with everything going on with the Heat team, I just don't know what to do with this team as far as a number, like actually make a number for them. Like I just can't currently.
Is your system able to incorporate something like this? It's got to be impossible to incorporate. It's got to be impossible. Sorry.
That's what I'm saying. Like for me to actually make a true number, like like I just can't. I mean, Cavs, I would have to lean them. As far as the over, I would have to lean there. But this is definitely one I do not have a play on. I just saw in the chat somewhere, I think it was Monzy, man. Since I don't have a play on actually that game, switch over to college basketball for just a second.
Hell yeah.
Monzy, as far as Texas Tech minus 12, that's basically where I have it. I have it at actually minus 12.7. I would definitely lean that way, though.
There we go. He is leaning the Texas Tech way. No action from me in the Texas Tech game. Full transparency, I have not looked into college basketball yet today, but we may have something later. So nothing from me currently on that game. Jammer, anything from you in the Texas Tech game?
In the college world.
We all know you're a big Texas Tech guy. I am surprised about that. Big Patty Mahomes guy, right? All right, over to the comments. This is a great question I do want to touch on. How big do you think tensions are around the trade deadline with players being weary about being traded? Huge, but it also depends on the situation. It just has to depend on what team you're on. So I think guys on the Pelicans, it's going to weigh heavily on them because I think a lot of Pelicans will be moved at the deadline. They should be big sellers. Guys on Miami, another team. A lot of the bad teams, that's the best way to put it. A lot of the teams that are out of the playoff race are going to be looking to get rid of their one-year contract guys, their assets that they signed in case they're terrible. Teams do that all the time. They sign guys knowing maybe we'll have them for half a year and we'll be able to get a first-round pick out of him if we're bad. And a lot of those are going to happen. I think if you're in the Portland Trail Blazers camp, that's you as well. So it all just depends what team you're on. One more comment I want to touch on, which is completely random, has nothing to do about this game. But man, Joe, am I a huge Mark Williams fan. This guy can straight up ball. Him on the Hornets, He's been fantastic. He's one of the bright spots for them this year. I'm in a chat with a bunch of my Knicks buddies. I'll put this out in the air. We're all big Knicks fans, and we're all looking for the backup center for the New York Knicks that we can hopefully trade for. I don't think he's going to be on the trade market, but the other day I did send a text into that big group chat saying, man, if we can get our hands on this Mark Williams guy, what an ad that would be. I think he's an absolute stud, and I am a big fan of Mark Williams. I don't know what the L word is, and I don't want to be called out for saying anything terrible, so if it's a really bad word that I can't even think of, please do not say it. All right, boys. Let's move on to the next game we're breaking down today, which is going to be the T-Wolves taking on the Suns. The T-Wolves are 25-21. They're 13-11 on the road, taking a Suns team that is 24-21, and they are 15-8 at home. Over to the injury report. Dante DiVincenzo will be out for several weeks for this T-Wolves team, and it looks like Kevin Durant may be playing tonight. He is a true game-time decision. Those are the two big injuries here. Rob Dillingham is a game-time decision for the T-Wolves. He's a rotational piece. I do believe he will be playing tonight, however. These teams have played each other once this season already, and the T-Wolves did win 120-117. All that being said, Jammer, close spread here. What do you like in this game?
Yeah, so like you said, these two met up earlier this season with the T-Wolves coming out on top, 120-117. But what you didn't mention is that the Suns kept it that close on the back of Devin Booker without Kevin Durant and Bradley Beal. He balled out that game. He had 44 points, just obviously couldn't keep up with the entire healthy Timberwolves team at home. So fully expecting another close one like that one, like the one that we had earlier this season. But each team riding a 3-game winning streak currently. They're currently neck and neck at the 7-8 spot in the standings, so right there on that line for the play-in tournament. Obviously, we still have a lot more basketball to go, but now's the time of the season where you kind of try and separate yourself from this line so you're not dancing on that little play-in game. You don't want to be there. No, you don't want to be in that win or go home situation type of deal. So a lot of teams are going to try and separate themselves from this 7-8 line here in the standings. So big game here for these two. The fully healthy Suns team definitely doesn't give me championship vibes, but any team that has Devin Booker and Kevin Durant who can combine for 60, 70 plus points every night, they're always going to have a chance. So in single games like this, I'm liking the home team here, especially after they lost in a close fashion last time that these two teams met up. Whenever you get like two big titans like Devin Booker, Ant-Man, Julius, Kevin Durant, like that's whenever the stars come out to play. And I think that we're going to see a big effort out of these guys tonight, especially for the home team here, Phoenix, who I am backing tonight. Because whenever you look at these two teams, it's kind of like the Suns, you kind of think just offense. And whenever you think the Timberwolves, you're kind of thinking strictly defense there with, Ant-Man on the wing, Julius down there guarding in the paint and going out to the three-point line. Then you obviously got Rudy Gobert down there in the paint. You don't necessarily think offense, even though Ant-Man can go off for 40-plus any night. But I just don't see them being able to keep up with Kevin Durant and Devin Booker tonight, specifically in this matchup. So I do like the Suns here at home, bouncing back after the win, after the loss that they had to this team earlier this season. But, I'm definitely going to be back in the home team, each team on a 3-game winning streak. One of them's got to lose tonight, so hopefully that's the Timberwolves.
Trivia for both of you. Who is the leading assist per game player on the Minnesota Timberwolves?
Well, if we're guessing, it's probably not Ant-Man or Mike Conley.
It is. I wouldn't have brought it up.
Yeah.
Let's go young Jew.
Who?
Julius.
It is Julius Randle at 4.5 assists per game. Great question here from Diamond Dog. I'm alluding to this. How big of a loss was Cat from the T-Wolves? They seem to take a big step back this year. Yeah, they've taken a step back because the ball doesn't move. It's ISO ball. They don't get assists as a team. They don't play as a good team, and they are in a lot of disarray right now. It just seems like every time it's a spot, you should be betting the T-Wolves. They lose by 30, and nothing makes sense with this team. I have to stay away because the T-Wolves are a team I just can't get right this year. Games I'm super confident they're going to do well. Like, this is a game I think the T-Wolves would win. I read this similar to how Joe has been putting it in the comments. Let me see if I can find his comment here. Here it is. T-Wolves should punish the Suns. They're bigger down in the paint. They have more depth. I agree. This would be a game all year long. I would be hammering the T-Wolves, but with the way that they've played this year, with the way that when I bet them, they seem to completely shit the bed, I'm going to avoid it. JD, do you have a play on this one?
Yeah, man. As far as this actual total, guys, like I don't know what's going on here. Why this total is so low. I really don't understand. It's still 217.5, I believe.
I have 218 flat, but same thing.
218, yeah. I think this should be more in like the 225 to 226 range. So I am well off here. So I'm not sure if somebody's going to be out tonight, what that could mean, but I am well off here. And just another thing, if you like, as far as the matchup goes, these like teams, they've like gone like over the like total the past 4 out of their past 5 games.
Yep.
They've actually met. And the total has not even been close. Like they have soared over. So why this game is lined like this, I really can't understand why. But I'm going to be happy and actually, yeah, like I am all over it.
There we go. Jammer, you gave out your pick on this game, right? Sorry to keep asking you that today.
I do got to say, January's been all about the over. It seems like all these teams are just crazy high scoring this entire month.
True that. Very true. Good point. We do have one more game we're going to be breaking down, gentlemen, before we do. Footy. It's your moment to shine. Everybody knows if you're a soccer fan, if you're not a soccer fan, you're just a sports fan, that today at 3 o'clock Eastern is it Champions League, Europa League, one of those big-time leagues, has 18 games starting at 3 o'clock. They all kick off at the exact same time. So if you like betting soccer and you want some daytime action today, 3 p.m. is when it all goes down. Footy. If you're out there, put a couple bets in the comments for the people because the people want to see what you're on for. Because people are saying this is the best soccer day of ever. They're saying it's one of the biggest soccer days ever. So, Footy, if you're out there and you want to throw some plays in for the people, let us know. I'm also looking to tail some soccer plays. Everyone knows I haven't been capping it. I don't even know which tournament this is, but I'm down to tail you, Footy. So put some plays in there and let's have some fun today.
Man, as far as today goes, it really looks like a Man City team total over day.
I love it.
It just like feels right.
Who are they playing, JD?
I have no idea.
I'm assuming you saw one of Footy's plays, and it's the Man City team total over. So if you guys trust Footy, I'm assuming that Man City play is his. Yeah. Stay tuned. I'm sure if he's still here, he will give us a couple more fun ones. And look, he's cooking for us. He's getting ready. So Footy dropped some plays in there for you, and he already gave out the next play. Man City team total over 2.5. 5 units. It is his max play. So if you want to have some fun with Footy Chancellor, I'm going to be tailing that. And if it loses, we can all come in here tomorrow and scream at him, which is You really can't lose in this situation. You either get to yell at footy or win some cash. Either way, it's going to be a great time. Let's move on to the final game we're going to be breaking down today, gentlemen, which is going to be the Oklahoma City Thunder taking on the Golden State Warriors. I don't really need to intro the Thunder. Everyone knows what they're about. They're 37-8 on the year. They're 17-5 on the road, and they've been the best team in basketball by a landslide. On the other side, Golden State, 23-23, 500 ball club that's 13-12 at home. Going to the injury report, Chet Holmgren, is he still a real human being? Who knows? We never see him. He's out. Nikola Topic is out for the year, and A.J. Mitchell is out for this one. On the other side, Draymond Green out, Jonathan Kuminga out, Steph Curry game time decision, so we're still waiting to get some news on that. All that being said, Jammer, what you got?
Yeah, so definitely an interesting one there with the injury report, especially since the Warriors played last night, so they're going to be on the back-to-back today, so they could have some people that might be sitting. Because this is definitely a game that they're not going to have a singular chance of winning. We've been talking about this Warriors team the last couple of weeks just strictly because of the absence of Draymond Green. He just completely, with him being out there, he just completely dismantles that defense. They have no defensive presence down there whenever he's off the court. It just kind of seems like everyone's running around with their head cut off and nobody's able to make a stop. They obviously won last night, but they were not able to cover the gargantuan spread. I think that they closed at 13.5 point favorites. They won the game, but they were not able to cover that 13.5 spread. We were on the Jazz plus 13.5, so we were loving that. But in terms of how this Warriors team has been playing of recently, man, they have been struggling, allowing a lot of points on the defensive end, not being able to score even against these low end, bottom tier teams. So, I mean, them at 10 points tonight, we've seen them get double digit points on the spread twice already this season. They're 0 for 2. They're 0 for 4 whenever they're double-digit point favorites. So it just doesn't seem like they like these double-digit spreads on any side. So if I was going to take a play, it would have to be on this Oklahoma City Thunder. I was definitely leaning the over for this game because Oklahoma City's had a crazy January. Like I've already said, a lot of teams are putting up crazy offensive numbers, but this Oklahoma City Thunder team is just putting up insanely good numbers in the month of January, almost seeing increases on their season averages for the month. In almost every single category, they're getting better. So, I mean, as the season goes on and this team gets healthier, they're going to be one of these scarier teams heading into the playoffs. Yeah. But in terms of plays for the game, I'm looking at Oklahoma City team total over 117.5. I can't trust the entire game over, which is what I was looking at last night. We're looking at 225, 224.5 on some books. I just don't trust this Golden State Warriors team to put up points. Yeah, especially if they're on this back-to-back where maybe, a player like Steph Curry doesn't play tonight just because of the spread and playing last night. Yeah. But for the Oklahoma City Thunder, they seem to always have their foot on the gas, and they're going to try and put up those points, especially as they close out this month of January. So I'm liking them at 117.5. And then there's another play that I was looking for someone to fade, and I was looking at my boy Buddy Hield. He has been struggling as of late. Last 5 games, we saw 2 points from him last night. We saw 10 versus the Lakers, 3 versus the Bulls. He had a breakout game against the Kings. He had 17, but then before that, 6. He's struggling to even get double-digit points. So we're definitely going to be paying attention to the injury report, but he's sitting at 10.5 points right now. Especially if Steph Curry does play, I think that he will definitely have a majority of the offensive possessions and the offensive shots that they're going to take. But if Curry's not playing, obviously his Buddy Hield number is going to jump up. So we'll be paying attention to that. But I'm looking at fading my boy Buddy Hield here tonight. There we go. Especially as we're leading into this trade season. His name will definitely be one that's mentioned. But
for sure,
right now he's not showing any kind of value.
100% agree with you. Footy. I just tweeted out. I know you saw it. You're going to be giving out some soccer bangers. We just had a huge uptick of people jumping in here. So, Footy, make sure you have those soccer plays ready for the people. Also, Jammer, question from the chat. I'm going to answer it before I give it over to you, but it's currently at a minus 170, and there's no chance in hell you should be taking a minus 170 parlay. So I'm going to say no to that. What do you guys think about the Thunder Cavs MLP?
I do have to say, if you actually line shop around, DraftKings does actually have it at actually minus 152. I still think that's kind of nuts.
Yes.
But I'm sure if we go over there to actually like Profit X, I'm sure you can get even a better number there, though.
We'll take a look when we bring up our Profit X play of the day. Jammer, what do you think about that? So on FanDuel, the exact odds I have for it are minus 162. That's a negative for me.
Yeah, that's a little bit higher than my threshold. I'm usually in that same boat as, like right around minus 150 is as far as I'll go. But usually those are like the parlay pieces. So like if I have a parlay sitting at minus 150, if it's like UFC, you can kind of let that one slide. For sports like NBA, where there's so much variation, you don't really know what to expect, especially whenever you have, the OKC Thunder, who sometimes will say, oh, yeah, SGA's playing. And then 30 minutes before the game, just, out of nowhere, he's not on any injury report for the day. It's just like, oh, yeah, he just decided he's not playing tonight. So he's out. Sorry about all the people who took the Thunder, minus 10 or on the money line tonight.
Exactly.
So, I mean, you always get that kind of situation. But, yeah, in terms of NBA and, high juiced money lines, in terms of like what we're talking here, it's just a no-go for me, especially at minus 170.
Smart move in my opinion. JD, any action from you before we get into best bets, and hopefully Footy will drop more soccer plays. If not, I promise you I will be in his DMs like a madman in 10 minutes and forcing him to tweet out more free play. So I will make sure we get those out there if we don't hear from him for the rest of the show. JD, any action from you?
No. In this game here, really actually as far as like Jammer said, man, I was actually looking at this the exact same way. The over, I like wanted to hit that, but actually, just like you said, I just didn't trust it. So really actually, as far as the Thunder actually team total over, definitely is my look. I have to stop looking at our chat currently. Bust out laughing. Sorry, guys. But yeah, that would actually be a lean. I seriously doubt I actually play it though.
Yeah, more to come. If JD, I'm sure if you make that a play, where are you going to post it?
Post it in the Discord.
There we go, baby. Make sure you guys get in the Discord. We'll have more to come on the Discord. But fellas, that's going to do it for our breakdowns today. But as you know, we still have a couple things we have to do on the show. First thing we're going to do is the MoneyBall Metrics Profit X play of the day. As you boys know, we've won them all week. I think we've won 6 in a row, something like that. We cannot be stopped in the Profit X POD. And guys, right now, if you agree with me and you like the Cleveland Cavs, we just saw that line jump in live time, which was kind of cool. But yeah, the line is currently shifting. The line dropped down to 6.5 about an hour or about 45 minutes ago after Garland was ruled out. The Cavs are still being bet heavily. It's back up to 7.5 at minus 115 on most books. So best odds you can get right here. You can see. You can get them on Profit X, guys, for up to 2,000 Profit X cash. You can get the minus 7.5 at a minus 104, but even better than what I like at the minus 7 at minus 113. I think that's the best value there. Guys, as you can see, best value you can get is on Profit X, so make sure you guys take advantage of that. We're going yet again today with our Profit X play of the day, which is going to be the Cavs, minus 7.5. We're going with 7.5 for a little better value. I'd prefer getting 7, but as you guys can see, you can risk more on the 7.5 due to what's already being offered there. So I'm going to give you guys that option because there's more you can get down. I think the Cavs win this one by double digits. And JD, what is the best way they can use benefits of Profit X?
If you sign up with our code that you see on the screen there, you actually get 2% back on every play for your first 30 days.
Yep.
And I will tell you that actually really adds up.
Absolutely. No one else is giving you guys that code. MBM get you in 2% back on all your plays for the first 30 days, up to 300 in profit cash. Yet again, use code MBM, get in there, support us by supporting them, and have some fun winning with the boys. We can't be stopped right now with our Profit X plays of the day, and that's going to continue. All right, boys. couple things left we have to do on the show. And the first thing we are going to do before we get into the best bets is going to be the sale for MoneyBall Metrics. If you guys want to have fun with us, get in the Discord, see all of Footy soccer players. You want to see all of Jammer's NBA plays. You want to see my plays. You want to see JD's plays. Get in the Discord for your first month. It's only $25. End of January sale. The best sale out there for the best Discord out there. Get in there and come have some fun with the boys. All right, fellas. There's one thing left we do on this show, and everyone's waiting for our best bets of Wednesday, January 29th. Jammer, we're going to start with you. Do you have 1? Do you have 2? Do you have 3? Do you have 97? How many best bets do you have tonight? Well, I should word it a little bit differently. How many times are you betting Nick's money line for best bets today?
Big fat 0 on the Knicks tonight.
All right, well, let the people know what you're on then.
All right. So first best bet of tonight, we got the Phoenix Suns money line. I know that you were not feeling too hot about that one, but I'm liking them at home. I know we had a couple people in the chat. I think it was Joe not looking at this T-Wolves team like they're going to roll over and take it. But I think that tonight we're going to see a huge game, especially out of Devin Booker. He's had a hot January, averaging damn near 30 points. Obviously, that team has been kind of dominated by Kevin Durant this season, but Devin Booker has been turning up as of late. So I'm looking to see the Suns beat the Timberwolves at home tonight. Second best bet, Denver Nuggets +3. I think that's going to be a fantastic game against your Knicks. Hopefully we can see the Knicks win by 1 or 2 points tonight so the both of us can be happy.
Love that.
Yep. So let's see a close game there. And the final play, Karl Anthony Towns, over 36.5 points plus rebounds. Like you said earlier, we're definitely going to be paying attention to that injury report because it definitely seems like something funky's going on with the props jumping up and the total for that game. So certainly be paying attention to that. But I'm liking Karl Anthony Towns over 36.5 points plus rebounds. He's been balling out lately on the offensive side and as well under the glass. So hopefully he can get a lot of points and rebounds tonight. Keep it close for Alpha's Knicks.
Let's go.
Win it by 1 or 2. I'm
in for it. And before that's all the best bets today, Jammer?
That's a 3. Yep.
Let's go, baby. We have a ticker and everything.
Ooh.
We have a ticker and everything. Best bet from Footy, Man City team total over 2.5. We already went over it, but that is his max play. So we're adding that to the screen. That's going in best bets today. Man City team total over 2.5. Brought to you by Footy Chancellor. All right, I will be going over my best bets for the day, gentlemen. My best bets are going to be the Cleveland Cavs -7.5. And you guys already know the vibes. You see the hat. You know who's winning. It's the New York Knicks on the money line. Those are my 2. What are you saying no for? We already agreed. They win by 1 or 2. You win. I hope they win by 40 now and screw your freaking bet. JD, what do you got?
Man, I'm like trying to find some like plays here, man. Actually, all of my lines have actually moved now. This one hasn't moved that much. So let's take this one. Let's take the T-Wolves and Suns over. You can still get that one at actually 218. Definitely still like that one. I can't just give y'all one though. Trying to find something that hasn't moved.
Everything's moving right now.
Let's go to college basketball here. Here we go. Let's take Cal versus SMU. Let's take the over 151.
There we go. Another banger from JD.
Points. We just want to see a bunch of scoring.
Points. One more question from Joe before we get the hell out of here. How do we feel about Malik Monk over 6.5 assists? Monk is 80% average.
So I was just looking.
In his last 5. Jammer.
So I was looking at the NBA advanced stats for my boy Joe here, and I was looking at his last 10 games. He is second in potential assists behind Domantas Sabonis. Sabonis sitting at 12 potential assists per game.
That's insane.
Monk is at 11.9 assists per game. So usually you like to see him convert, anywhere between 60 to 70 of those potential assists. So, that puts him right at the 6.5 number. It's tough. At plus money, I think I like it. Like he's saying, he is the new facilitator role there. But, they do have other playmakers there, which kind of scares you. Because
yeah, absolutely.
Sabonis is obviously a ball-moving big man, and then obviously you still have Fox there. But I like it at plus money. I think I could go for it, Joe.
There we go. I'll agree with Jammer. He's the prop guy. JD, you agree?
Yeah, I'm actually looking at it now too, and I mean that line is honestly probably really good.
Well, I have one reason why it's so low and that would scare me is the blowout factor. Philly played last night. They can get run at the gym.
Let's look at last 5 games, potential assists. 11.5. He's behind Fox and Sabonis here in the last 5. It's tough. It's a tough one, especially like you said in the blowout.
The line itself to me at actually 6.5 just seems like a very good line. Like it's like I think that's where the line should be. So yeah,
love it. All right, well, let me throw on the screen the best bets graphic. Get your phones out, take your screenshots. You can see the plays here. I'm on the Cavs minus 7.5. Knicks money line. JD is on the over in the Knicks Nuggets and the over in the T-Wolves Suns. And Jammer's on Suns money line. Nobody cares about the second one. And Karl Anthony Towns over 36.5 points and rebounds. All right, fellas. It's going to do it for another great show today. I apologize if anybody could hear any background noise coming from me. They are doing massive construction right outside my apartment, and I'm going to rip someone's head off if this doesn't stop. But that's what's going on in the alpha dog world. Jammer, any parting words for the people before we get the hell out of here?
It's kind of sad not seeing your TV turn on from the ghost, but we made it through a show without any of that.
Prepared for it. Very rare that does happen. Probably the construction's messing everything up. It's messing everything up. I can't begin to tell you that. JD, any parting words for you before we get the hell out of here?
No, guys, today, just going to keep it really simple again. Let's fucking win.
Let's fucking win. We'll be back tomorrow. Same time, same place. We appreciate every single one of you. And if Footy loses this soccer bet, we are showing up to his house with pitchforks.
I'm going to be in those DMs, man.
Let's get more plays out of Footy. We appreciate all y'all. Let's go, Man City. Team total over 2.5. Peace.